Good. Milk. You'll have to bear with me, people. I'm just getting over the flu, so my voice sounds weird, and you might hear me coughing up throughout into this video. But here we have an old milk bottle. I'm not old enough to remember milk being delivered, but there's certainly a lot of history behind milk delivery in the world. um, I think they started delivering milk back in the 1870s around here or their parts. Can you imagine delivering milk on a wagon back in the 1870s? I don't know what they did. Did they pull the whole cow with them back in those days? Or what? You know, they pull up with the cow in front of your house and you got your bucket out and they're like, milking the cow in front of your barn, or not your barn, but your house, or your shack, whatever you lived in. But that must have been something, you're dodging the savages on the back roads of Kansas trying to deliver your milk someplace. But they stopped doing that probably in the 1950s, late 1950s, early 60s. And I think there might still actually be a couple of places around that will deliver your milk locally. I notice it's kind of making a comeback here and there, especially with your organic people who want their vegetables and things organically and locally grown. There was a place here in Lawrence for a while where you could buy one of their milk bottles and then take it back to their shop and they will refill it for you with fresh milk. But I believe that place closed up now. But there still is a couple of local milking companies around. Anyway, here's an old photo of your local milkman back in those days. He's got his milk there, and he's even bringing you a box of cornflakes for your cereal and breakfast. Anyways, that's that, and we'll get to the music. That could go on for probably days and days about milk delivery, but it might get boring. I can imagine somebody could probably write a whole thesis or something on the history of milk delivery in the United States and other places around the world. Anyways, here we have the records. First off, I'm going to start out with some country albums. And here we have Ray Price's Greatest Hits. And I didn't bother taking the plastic off of these this time because I just didn't feel like putting it back on there when I'm done because I'm still recovering here. Ray Price's Greatest Hits, and here he's wearing one of those famous nudie suits that the country stars wore back in the day. It's too bad they don't really wear those anymore. I know they're sparkly and sequins and all that kind of stuff. Somebody that still does wear these, I think a lot, is Dwight Yoakam. He still wears the nudie suits now and then, and maybe a couple of others, but there just isn't really any old country types around anymore since we're into this whole pop country these days. And this has Crazy Arms, You Done Me Wrong, City Lights, that kind of stuff. And this guy, I have no idea who it is, but he's got a Greatest Hits, and it's the Essential Ramblin' Jack Elliott. I have no idea who that is, but I figured for a couple of bucks, I'll find out who Ramblin' Jack Elliott is. He's wearing a cowboy hat, but he could be like a folk singer or something along those lines. Ramblin' Jack Elliott. We will find out what he's rambling about. And here we all have a guy that's been around forever. George Strait's Greatest Hits. I think he's about 80 years old now, and he's got like 50, 60, 100 top #1 country hits or something along those lines. He's way ahead of Elvis. Amarillo by Morning, songs like that you might remember. What's another good one? Foolhardy Memory, You Look So Good in Love. George Strait, and I just noticed that he is back on tour again, and I thought he was supposed to have retired. Don't you just love it when these old bands and musicians, they will say they're retiring, and maybe not even a year later they're back touring again because they probably are low on their millions of dollars and they have to pay for 5 mansions. His case, it's probably 5 ranch houses or something with a herd of 1,000 horses or sheep or cattle or something. Um, Either that or, sometimes they get in trouble with IRS and things like that because they just do. Like Willie Nelson, for example, and you just got to go back out on tour even though you're on your last breath. Anyways, another example is Bob Seger. I went and seen him a few years ago with my mom, and supposedly his last tour. And then here last year, this past year, he's back on tour again, but he canceled it because of health issues. But he's going to be back again for his last tour, people. His last tour, people. He's been on that last tour for about 30 years now. And let's see, we have the Electric Prunes. I had too much to drink last night. Dream last night. Get me to the world on time. I just recently kind of started listening to the Electric Prunes here. What's it say up here? The lyrics, the melody, and the rhythm find their way into the inward places of the soul on which they mightily fastened. Come forth, electric prunes, and move from the shallows and venture forth into the deep. Boy, that's really deep. Here now we have another Electric Prunes, Mass Infra F. I can't even tell what that says, but it's the Electric Prunes. And there they are doing their prune stuff, old wrinkled up prune stuff on the, well, they probably are. Now they could come back these days, they could be the wrinkled prunes. Or never mind. This has Carrie Ellison, Gloria. Carrie Ellison, I remember that from the soundtrack to Easy Rider. Whether this is the same version, I can't remember if it was Electric Prunes or not. But it's like Carrie Ellison, Carrie Ellison. Cue the psychedelic music and the bubbles and whatnot around in the back. There you go, and it's on the original Tricolor label. And for you label fanatics out there, we will take a look at that. The original Tricolor label. Look at it, people. Look at it and froth at the mouth. Next, a couple of advertisements. Look at this. Check these out. Remington Portable. These are advertisements for a typewriter. Remington Portable. Check that out. There's a man, a woman, and their kids all peering lustfully at a typewriter in the middle of this page. For every man, woman, and child who writes. The portable typewriter with the standard keyboard. Just like the big machines. And here's another one. A thoughtful gift for wife or husband, for son or daughter, for teacher or pastor, for dearest friend, Remington Portable. A complete portable typewriter that will be prized by anyone because it's helpful, useful, practical, and valuable. Has the complete standard keyboard and other big machine features. Fits in case only 4 inches high. Sold by over 2,000 dealers and Remington branch offices everywhere. Send for our illustrated, your ever-handy helper, address Department 65, Remington Typewriter Company, 374 Broadway, New York. Paragon ribbons for Remington typewriters made by us, 50 cents each, or 5 for a dozen. And Santa Claus is holding the old, I want you to get it for a gift for somebody. And on that, here is the typewriter that is in both of those photographs. I've been working on this. I cleaned it up, got new ribbon. On the bottom, I had to replace the rubber feet on the bottom, and I found an alternative to those, which was rubber feet that were made for a computer cabinets, actually, and it worked quite nicely on these. This is about 1925-ish, and the rubber feet on this had disintegrated and dried out over the years. And the same thing can happen to this platen that's right here, and it is a bit hard. That's why you use like 2 or 3 sheets of paper when I use this. But this one's a little bit different. You see, it won't type. It's like, it looks like it's stuck, right? It won't. The keys won't push. But you have to lift this and watch this. The keys lift up like so, and then you can type on it. Kind of looking at it backwards here. There you go. I just typed some stuff on there, but you can't see it because I forgot to put a piece of paper in. And I just typed on it like there was a piece of paper there, which which was just crazy. But anyway, you can see it works. That's how it works. Here's the snappy of the keys. I still have some work that I need to do on this. Some more cleaning, pretty much. And there's the bell. And that's that. And when you're done with it, you pull this out and you put your arms back down like so. And that's that. Another typewriter. And that's my video for the day. Other than that, go enjoy yourself some milk. Oh, that's so good. Refreshing. Other than that, I picked up this, support your local farmers and beekeepers and whatnot. I picked up this jalapeno flavored creamed honey, and it's actually pretty good. I've never thought that jalapeno and honey would taste great together, but this does on crackers or whatever. Anthony's Beehive. It's a place located here in Lawrence. Honey jalapeno flavored with honey flavored with jalapeno oil. And that's that. Thanks for joining me. Calling over and out, and weirdos unite. Actually, I'm not quite over. There's one more thing here. I wanted to put in at the end of this video a clip that I filmed last spring. I can't remember if I had already put this up before, but last spring we was driving and we came across, well, we went by a gentleman who was sleeping behind some like a school crossing behind a wall with his backpack, and we just figured there's some homeless guy, and I said, look, the guy's sleeping back there. And anyway, we came home and I happened to be sitting in the front yard, me and my girlfriend, and I was starting my old car out in the front. I was letting it run for a while, and here this gentleman comes walking up into the yard. He said, "Wow, I heard this old car from down the block." He said, "I used to work on these a long time ago, and I just wanted to check it out, check you out." He had had a few drinks by the time he seen us. But he's an interesting character. He played a really good blues harmonica, and I didn't get to film that, but I got to film him singing some. And he actually asked me to film him, so I did. I'm not going to say his name on here just for his personal reasons or mine. But I will put the video up here just for your enjoyment, just to see the kind of characters that I come across. Sometimes little stories will just walk up into your front yard and bring you a little happiness and joy. You know, I like writing about things. And he's somebody, I don't think I've written about him yet, but I probably will sometime. And that's it. All right, just whenever you're ready.
People smile and tell me I'm the lucky one, but I've just begun. I think I'm gonna have a son. He will be like Shimmy, as free as a dove, conceived from love and sun above. Everybody. And even though we ain't got money, I'm so in love with you, honey, and everything will bring a chain of love. In the morning when I rise, it brings a tear of joy to my eyes and tells me everything is gonna be alright. Pisces, Virgo rising is a very good sign. Yeah, strong and kind, and the little boy's mine. Now I see a family where there once was none. Yeah, we've just begun, and we're gonna fly to the sun. Everybody. And even though we ain't got money, I'm so in love with you, honey, and everything will bring a chain of love. And in the morning when I rise, it brings a tear of joy to my eyes and tells me everything is gonna be alright.
Good one. Good song. Thanks for sharing that with us.
Number thing, Jerry.